you.
Top of the morning from beautiful downtown Boston.
Hi, top of the morning.
Top of the morning to all of you. Hi, top of the morning. Top of the morning.
Hi, this is Captain Marty, top of the morning show, and we're on the Motor Vessel Blue Horizons. We're getting ready to get underway, and we're going to tour a little bit of Baltimore Inner Harbor. Don't go away.
Top of the morning to you. We're aboard the Blue Horizon in beautiful downtown Baltimore. Thank you for joining us. I'm Emily Fuster. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi, we're the Top Hat Girls, and you're watching Top of the Morning.
Welcome aboard, and we're going to go for a little tour around Baltimore Harbor today. See some of the sights. Give everybody an experience of what it's like if they're on board. Hi Sherry, how you doing? We're going out on the yacht now. Too bad you couldn't make it, but we'll have you on board another time. And it's a beautiful day out here. Taxis and the pirate boats and sailboats and motorboats. That's what he changed for us.
Oh, he changed this. So, do you know why he gave way, or is
He thought I wasn't going to move,
Oh,
which is fine. Well, there are rules of the road down here in regards to how you're going to pass another vessel. Which vessel, if you're in a crossing situation, which one actually stands on, holds ground, which one gives way. Basically, when you look at the lights on the boat, you see a green or a red light at night. If you see a red light, that's the stand-on vessel. You have to give way. Basically, you have to stop and let that boat go by.
right.
But at night, if you see a green light, then he sees you are red, which means we stay and he stops. He goes around us.
Right. Now, are you going to be up here for a little bit of time up here?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be up here for the entire trip. I'll be running down to the harbor.
Oh, okay. And so then you just start the boat off down there.
Started off down there to help get the fenders and the lines all out, and to see what's happening with the side of the boat. To come up here, since the harbor's got a lot of vessels in it, and it's busy, I can see all the way around me up here. So I can see what's coming up on my stern and see what's coming up beside me. Started out as bartender on board. So I was a bartender, and then worked my way up from bartender to a crew, and then from a crew to a first mate, and then to a chief mate. And the owner said, if you get your captain's license, I'll let you be captain someday. So I got my license, and I was relief captain for 2 years. He had a regular captain, and once that captain moved on, I moved up into his position.
Right.
So I've been captain of the vessel now for about 6 years. Do whatever I can on board. Well, I actually helped deliver this from New Orleans to Annapolis when the owner bought it. So I was a crew that was helping deliver it. I wasn't the captain at the time, but I was crew. So it gave me I was 3 weeks on board, gave me a chance to learn the boat. Learn it very well.
How long did it take you to get your license?
Well, for your license, you need to be able to document 360 days of sea time. It's not hours, it's days. So for me, I had to go back 10 years. That was 36 days a year to document that.
Okay.
And then you go and you study and you test for it. So they figure that if you're on the boat and you're crewing, sometime during that 360 days, you'll learn how to operate boats. You know, if you have a good captain, that'll let you take the helm.
Right.
They're going to have a Grand Prix race, and that's going to be Labor Day weekend in Baltimore. And that's actually going to take place right here, right by the water. So there are some people that have already booked reservations for their boats. They'll actually be able to see the race right from their boat. And all these places over here, all the marinas are going to be full with boats. And this is all within walking distance of the race course, which the race course is going to be right here. Going around the couple of hotels right here. On top of the Ritz-Carlton up here, you have the author Clancy owns a considerable amount of these penthouses on this up here at the Ritz-Carlton. And then, of course, they have the outdoor concerts right here in the summer. You can bring your boat right by it, tie right up next to it, watch the concert from the boat. But what we're doing at the moment with the vessel is we're touring the city here, taking clients, and they'll actually come in and just to get an idea. It's basically just a tour that we're coming. So we'll come into these little inlets here so they get a chance to see the rest of the city. It's just a perspective that most people don't ever see. If you're out on the river or you're out on the bay here, most times you're in a smaller boat and you're not as high up. So this just gives you a nicer view.
Yeah.
But we're just touring around the harbor, just looking at the sights.
Holloway, and you're watching Top of the Morning on board the beautiful Blue Horizon in Baltimore. Don't go anywhere. It's time for a coffee break, but we'll be right back.
Welcome back. This is your host Marty Meyer on motor vessel Blue Horizons, and as you can see, we're rocking a little bit here. But we're touring the harbor, and I have my guest here, Steve. And Steve, tell us about your membership here that you were talking about in the club.
Captain Marty, first, thanks for having me on the Blue Horizon. It's a beautiful boat. Those people in our audience that know boats is a 70-foot Hatteras, I understand.
That's correct.
I always wanted to have one of those. I was going to settle for the 53, but 70 wouldn't be bad. So, but the primary topic this morning is I'm a member of the Chesapeake chapter of the Antique Classic Boat Society, and we'll use the acronym ACBS just so that we don't have to talk it out every time.
So the Chesapeake chapter, there are other chapters in the country?
There are. ACBS is a national organization of people that love antique and classic boats. Most of those are wooden boats. People think of mahogany speedboats, for example.
Right.
But fiberglass boats, interestingly enough, are getting so old that the old-timers in the ACBS sort of begrudgingly said, maybe we need to start thinking about classic, or fiberglass boats as being classic boats. So they established a new category called classic glass.
Is that right? Well, this might be considered a classic glass. This is from the, this is 30 years old.
30 years old? Well, almost. You need to be 35 years old as a fiberglass boat.
Okay.
So, anyway, it's an interesting club. This is one of the biggest clubs in the United States. Other chapters are up in New York, up in out at Lake Tahoe, for example, as you might imagine, in the Midwest. Some people might have heard the name Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. There's even a boat club up there. It's interesting. We do have a website. If they just put in Chesapeake ACBS, our website will come up, and they can learn more about the club.
Great, and there will be additional videos and photos and everything on there?
There's photos, there's videos, there's all sorts of information if you have any interest about either wooden boats or antique classic glass, as it's called.
So, on the website, do people have their own boats in there and they explain a little history of them, or?
There's not too much in the way of history on the individual boats, but there are a lot of pictures. But yes, all the pictures that are on this website are of members' boats.
Members' boats.
Members' boats.
And do you have gatherings? Do you get together for special events or anything?
We do. It's a very active club. We have our annual boat show over at St. Michael's. It's always on Father's Day weekend. So if your viewers remember Father's Day weekend next year, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's at the Maritime Museum, which is a wonderful museum. If your viewers haven't visited the Maritime Museum, they should do that.
That's great. We're going to go to a break now, and stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tiffany West, and I'm aboard the Blue Horizon. I'm with MTM Agency, and you can contact me with the email on the screen. And you're watching Top of the Morning.
Welcome back. You're on the Motor Vessel Blue Horizons. We're touring the Baltimore City here, and I have my special guest Steve, and he's from a classic boat, the Classic Club.
Classic, antique and classic, we should say.
That's correct.
Antique and classic boats.
Now, you mentioned at one point that you have a show at St. Michael's, and that's on Father's Day?
We do. It's always on Father's Day weekend. It's at the Maritime Museum in St. Michael's. It's a wonderful show. It's what they call on land and in the water show. So some of the boats are there on trailers, and you'll see wonderful mahogany speedboats, the kind that you see if your viewers remember on Golden Pond.
Yes.
That's one of those classic motorboats that you see.
Now, I got to tell you, Steve, I've chartered vessels and I've captained other boats, through the years, and I actually took a vessel, vintage vessel called Enticer. Took that over to St. Michael's on a charter to the museum on Father's Day, and we tied up to the dock, and everyone thought we were part of the show.
Well, it's interesting.
But we weren't.
you and I then have a tie together, because when I retired from my company, the company was gracious enough to rent Enticer for an evening.
Well, I've worked on
the
that.
Severn River, so it's a marvelous old boat. And how long and how old is Enticer?
Oh gosh, it's been a while since I've been on board. It's, I believe, 95 foot, 85, somewhere in there. And I've done a couple charters with it, taking it from Annapolis up to Pennsylvania. And we do charters out of Pennsylvania on board that vessel. And from what I understand, a friend of mine spotted it down in Florida, down in Key West, this past year.
I know it travels up and down the coast. Now, you know the organization that refurbished it about, 5 years ago? They spent almost $3 million in terms of refurbishment?
That was actually the Philadelphia Maritime Museum. It was actually owned by the Maritime Museum in Philadelphia, and we would go up Penn's Landing up there with the vessel, and we would do charters out of there.
Right. It's a marvelous boat.
Yes.
I'd love to know where it is. The people in our club, we love our boats. We have a lot of fun. I should mention, though, you don't have to have an antique or classic boat to be in the club.
So you can still become a member without actually having a vessel.
You certainly can. And we have other activities throughout the year. Coming up in October, we have our Oktoberfest, which is normally at a member's home on the Severn River. You either drive there or you can boat there. Obviously, a lot of good German beer and Wiener Schnitzel and kraut and hot dogs.
I have one last question here. Do you have vessels that get restored that the club actually restores?
We do. Most club members do their own work.
But do you have one like a project vessel that you use where all the club members can come and actually work on one vessel to get themselves to learn how to work on all the old vessels?
I do understand the question, but we actually don't. Everyone spends so much time working on their own vessel, they don't have time for a general project vessel.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break now, so.
Hi, you're watching Top of the Morning. My name is Sierra McMurtry. I can be reached at stelinac7@aol.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back once more. We're on the Motor Vessel Blue Horizons and touring around the harbor here. We have our guest Steve.
Marty, as you can see, our club members have a great time. They love their boats. We were talking earlier about are there project boats or do they work on their own? Most members work on their own, whether it's doing the sanding or the varnishing or the painting. It's a love of a boat, and of course none of them are as big as the Blue Horizon. Most members' boats are anywhere between about 12 to 26 feet long, so they're not big boats.
So how do the people learn how to work on their vessels?
Well, they do have seminars.
They do?
We
Okay.
do have seminars. There's a gentleman over on the Eastern Shore named George Hazard who does boat restoration full-time. If you don't want to work on your boat, you can send it to him, and he'll do whatever that needs to be done.
Okay.
But this spring, for example, what he did was he had a seminar on varnishing. Because
that was my question, yes.
one of the biggest things for our members is how do you get a good coat of varnish on that boat, and how do you get that mirror-like surface where you can look down there and it's like you're looking in water. Well, George could do that kind of varnishing. So even experienced members showed up for this seminar because they wanted to know how does George do it. And interestingly enough, he does it slightly different than I thought most of the books say that it should be done. He, for example, puts on 6 coats of varnish before he ever does any sanding.
Really?
You're right. And most books say, varnish and sand, varnish and sand, varnish and sand. But when he's doing that first time coat, I mean, he'll do the thin coats first, but he'll do 6 coats before he does any varnishing. And then he goes up to about 15 coats, sanding and varnishing, sanding and varnishing.
Okay. Because, as we have woodwork on here that needs to get varnished, if I want to learn that trade, I can actually, I would join the club and then come and learn during one of these seminars on how to do that.
That's exactly right. But I suspect with this boat, Captain Marty, you already know how to varnish. And you're in more of a maintenance mode anyway. This is really about when you take down to bare wood and have to start all over again.
Right.
But in your case here, it's a beautiful boat. I love the varnish on the handrails there and up forward. But you're in more of a maintenance mode, I can tell.
Yes.
Our members really love their boats. It is kind of a passion. And again, I'd urge your viewers that if they like boats or think they'd even like to think about liking boats, they should look this club up because it's a great club, and as you can see, we have a lot of fun.
Steve, it's been great to have you on the show. We really appreciate it. Is there anything that you'd like to add here before we wrap up the show?
Well, just as I said in my opening comments, it's wonderful to be on the Blue Horizon. This is a marvelous Hatteras, excellent example of the kind of boats that the Hatteras Company made. And just one last plug for my club. It's the Chesapeake chapter of the Antique and Classic Boat Society. If you can just remember Father's Day, we always have a great show, but it's been nice being on your show.
Well, I appreciate it very much. I'm glad to have you aboard. We'll get you back again.
That sounds great. Thanks, Captain Marty.
Okay, thanks. Welcome back, everyone. We're headed back into Fells Point. We just had a nice little tour around the Baltimore Harbor, and hopefully we'll get out again, and you will also be able to enjoy it yourself someday. This is Captain Marty on Blue Horizons, and we appreciate you standing by and watching our program.
Tell me about the Sea Log. Do you know anything about that?
The Sea Dog's basically, it's like a go-fast boat ride. It idles out past the idle speed area on the harbor and then speeds stuff, and I'm not sure exactly how fast it goes. It gives the audience a chance, the person a chance to experience what a go-fast boat is. Well, right now we're on the motor vessel Blue Horizons. We're cruising around the Baltimore Inner Harbor. In the background here is the Ritz-Carlton Residences. They just finished this project a couple years ago. It's got a beautiful promenade along there. And we'll be coming down towards the Harbor View area. And behind us over here is the Pier 5 Pavilion. They have concerts all summer. And Hotel Row here with the Marriott, the Four Seasons, several other hotels. On the end, you can see it's actually separated from the rest of the townhome.
Yeah.
So they actually have 2 units side by side. And one person bought both units, turned it into one residence.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So,
As we come up here, you'll see there's a separation between them. These are on the market. This one unit is on the market now for $8.5 million.
wow. So we should find out if they would let us shoot from their patio up there. No?
I believe it's the owners of Merit Athletics.
This is beautiful.
This is the old governor's yacht that was down in Annapolis,
Yeah.
Maryland Independence. That actually sold on eBay.
Wow.
And now that's a charter vessel, but they can only take, I believe, 12 people maximum.
And do you know what it sold for?
But on eBay,
Yeah.
I think it only sold for a couple $100,000.
Wow, it's kind of beat up, isn't it?
But they've done some work on it, but it needs some more work.
And they can only take 12 people on that boat?
They're not certified for anything more than that.
So how old do you think this, well, you know how old this boat is, right?
This is an 82 hull. It was delivered and completed in 83.
Oh, wow.
We're going by the Tiki Barge here.
Some hot action at the Tiki Bar?
Not today, but there will be.
Now there's another one like this up on the, up the road in Canton. There's it's not a Tiki Bar, what is it? The one that's on, it's got a Tiki
The
Bar.
Bay Cafe has
Bay
the outdoor,
Cafe, yeah.
outdoor sand and palm trees bar. We've got a beautiful day here today, but it's been cloudy, a little overcast, but it's still pretty out on the water. Too bad it's not quite as sunny as it can be here. There's one of the go-fast boats. You can see all the people on there. But we hope you've enjoyed your tour of the Baltimore Inner Harbor, and we will see you on board someday, hopefully. You have a great time on board.
Top of the morning to you. I'm Emily Fuster, and I'm here in beautiful downtown Baltimore, enjoying the beautiful Blue Horizons with Captain Marty. I hope that you enjoy your historical ship museum tour, the Chesapeake, the Taney, the Torx submarine, Lighthouse, and the USS Constellation. I'm gonna go grab a nice coffee. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're on the vessel Blue Horizons. I'm your host, Captain Marty Meyer. Today we have a couple more models on board, Travis and Emily. And Emily, you're from which agency now again?
I'm with MTM Agencies.
MTM Agencies. And is there a reason you like that particular agency, or?
So far we worked well together.
Is that
They
right?
do a good job. So I've been pretty happy.
That's great. So what got you into this particular industry? What do you like about it?
I like fashion. I
So do you prefer runway modeling? Do you prefer photo shoots, or do you have a
I
preference?
like a little bit of everything.
Is that right? So you're going to enjoy doing a little runway on board the yacht here this afternoon.
Yes.
That's
I think
great.
I'm moving forward today.
Oh, that's great. And Travis, tell me a little bit about your, you're an independent from what I understand,
Correct.
and how can you be contacted?
I can be contacted at originalart90@gmail.com.
And what got you started in the industry?
Actually, a young lady who used to work at a agency, she said, "Hey, Travis, you should come try it out," and I did, and I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Is that right?
It was definitely a great experience.
So is there one aspect that you prefer or that you like over the other?
Photo shoots.
Photo shoots. Well, we're going to thank you for coming on board. We're going to thank MTM, the Barbizon, and the independent models that are on board. And we're looking forward to having you on board possibly again sometime.
Thank you.
And as a special surprise to me on board this afternoon, Mary Newcomb made a cake for us. So we thank you, Mary, for the lovely cake. We're going to all very much enjoy that. Today I have a special guest. This is a person that actually works on our vessel with us. He captained the vessel today as we did our shows. So I'd like to introduce you, and this is
Robert Kilchenstein.
and Robert's one of the crew on the vessel, as well as a 100-ton master captain. He runs several vessels. Also does his own crabbing and everything. So if you want some crabs, talk to Rob. How can we reach you, Rob?
You can reach me at rkilch@comcast.net.
I want to thank you, Rob, for taking the helm today, taking control of the vessel.
It's my pleasure.
And what do you think of the experience?
What did I think of the experience? I think that the girls were beautiful, and that the show is top notch, and we had a lot of fun today.
Yes. Got in, beat the weather, and got to tour around Baltimore, and
We certainly did.
even get to get your family on TV as well, right? Rob, taking the helm today, have any problems or any issues with it?
No issues today. It was a fairly standard cruise, and we had a great group of people. No serious weather issues. We got in before the rain, and everything went well.
Pretty nice tour around Baltimore Harbor, wasn't it?
It is. It's beautiful out there. There's lots of sights to see.
I know we had a boat full of people, but that wasn't any problem, was it?
Not at all.
No, that's good. Rob, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
We'll be right back. Hope you enjoyed the show today. We're signing off. This is Captain Marty Meyer. We'll see you on the water next time.